Hey yo, what is up everybody? It's B Militant. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host here on the Redskins Review. You guys, first things first, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys have been showing the channel in the past couple weeks, man. I've been trying to use the community tab a little bit more and get a lot of support on there too. When I have something I want to say or bring up, an opinion that I have or whatever, and it doesn't require me making an entire video to talk about it, you guys still see those posts, you guys still comment on there. And I just want to say thank you guys because, you know, it sucks to have to come up here and be kind of negative about the Redskins. It sucks to have to come up here and talk about us being 0-2. And, you know, there's not a lot of good stuff to talk about, and it sucks. But one of the reasons that this channel is here in existence is because it gets a lot off my chest, and, you know, it makes me feel better to come up here and talk about the Redskins with other Redskins fans. I know there's a lot of other people out there who you just want someone to talk to as well, and just, you know, see if we're on the same page. You know, as Redskins fans, what are we thinking? Are are we thinking the same thing? And what do we want to do moving forward? And are we seeing the same thing when we're watching the games? Stuff like that, just getting stuff off of our chest. It's always good to have an outlet like that. And now we got the Louis T Network with the nightly Redskins news. You know. So there's tons of Redskins content out there to digest and get into. If you're looking for somewhere to just, you know, share your opinion on the Redskins or whatnot, there's places for you to do that. This is one of them. This is a community to do that. So I thank you guys for the support. We've really been seeing a lot of good comments and good discussions on the last couple videos and posts. So before I get into what I'm going to talk to today, I just want to give you guys a little rundown and show you guys some of the stuff that's sitting behind me. I'm a Redskin fan because of my father. I was born into this, man, and whenever he gets a chance, he always tries to give me all this Redskin stuff. You know, whether he goes to like a flea market or something and sees like all this old Redskin stuff, he just always tries to get me something. And let's go show you guys what I got over here. Okay, so sitting back here, I just have a bunch of Redskin stuff, man, that my father gave me over the years. Just got this wooden Redskin thing. This was actually handmade by someone at his work, handmade and painted. I think he paid the guy like something crazy, like $100 to hand make that. So he got that for me. Got a little Mickey Mouse, all this Redskin stuff, man. This is a unopened Coke bottle from the 1983 Super Bowl, Redskins Super Bowl. You know, I just have this stuff because my dad collects it, and he just over time gives it to me. So I just want to show you guys, this is only what I have in my living room. You know, I got tons of more Redskin stuff. Just want to show you guys what's sitting behind me all the time. But yeah, let's get into the video. So the topic today on the channel is going to be something we've talked about so many times, and you know, Bruce Allen and Jay Gruden have to go. And the reason that I was thinking about this today, about Jay Gruden has to go, what made me think about this today, and another point for me to prove that he just is done here, is thinking back to the 2015 Washington Redskins. That was a superior team to what we have right now, and that was a superior team to whatever team Jay Gruden has ever had here as the Redskins head coach. And I understand that was the first year that Jay Gruden coached this team. That was the year that he gave Kirk Cousins the nod as the quarterback, and we went 9-7 and went to the playoffs. And I understand that you know, maybe the NFC East wasn't that strong that year, but here's the reason why Jay Gruden has to go. That 2015 Redskins football team, he inherited from Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan had this roster filled up, and I can go on and on about this. The players that we had then, us staying healthy, you know what I mean? Things like Trent Murphy. Trent Murphy has to be, honestly, the best pass rusher we've had in a long time. And, you know, he got hurt too, and he's gone. But, you know, when Mike Shanahan was here, we didn't have this injury bug. You know what I mean? Our guys were tough, hard-nosed football players. And sure, we don't. Looking at the Redskins team back then, And looking at our roster now, like on paper, look at our defensive line. We should be amazing on the defensive line, but we're just not seeing it translate to the field. That comes down to coaching. That comes down to the head coach, the injuries. It's I've always been giving Jay Gruden the pass because I like the guy. He's a likable guy, but enough is enough. We're 2 weeks into the season and we have 10 people on IR already. There's a certain point of time where you can't just give the guy the benefit of the doubt anymore, and you have to say, maybe this guy's the problem. And even if he's not the problem, I'm sorry, there's too much of a coincidence going on right now for us to not get rid of you and move on and try something different. If it's just a coincidence, it's a coincidence. Sorry, you're collateral damage. But right now, there's way too many injuries under your reign. Going back and looking at the Mike Shanahan football team that Jay Gruden inherited in 2015, I'm going to go down the list of some of these players, but we didn't have the injury bug that we have right now. You know what I mean? The last couple of years have been really brutal, and I just think that the football team that Jay Gruden inherited into 2015, that was the best Redskins football team. That team could beat any of the past Redskins teams until now. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's the last good Redskins football team, and we only went 9-7 that year. But I still, we play in a tough division. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna discredit us just for our record or whatever. I'm just gonna say that was the best last Redskins team that could beat all the Redskins teams after it, and that's the Jay Gruden era. So let me go through that football team, and I'll tell you some of the names that was on that team. I'm sure you guys probably already know, but I'm just going back to say the players that we had, just everything about that football team was better than the football teams that Jay Gruden has been coaching. He hasn't been able to coach these guys up to play as well as the people that he inherited from Mike Shanahan. So 2015, we have Kirk Cousins. Give Jay Gruden credit for being a man and sticking up and saying, hey, RG3 doesn't give us the best chance to win at this time. Alfred Morris at running back, Pierre Garçon, Deshaun Jackson, Chris Baker, Ryan Kerrigan, Trent Murphy, who was probably our best pass rusher in a long time, even though, I don't think he played a full season. Bashaw Breeland, Will Blackman, that football team, and besides Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon, I'm not rattling off a lot of star football players. But that team was a better cohesive team, a more smash-mouth football team, a football team that stayed healthier, and ultimately was the best football team that we've had. And like I said, that was Jay Gruden's first year, and you have to sit here and think about what has Jay Gruden done since then until now, and what do we have to show for it, and how much of that 2015 success came from Mike Shanahan's previous building. And like I said, today I was just thinking about it, and I feel like it just clicks with me. That team was the best team we've had in a long time, and that team was primarily, people like Alfred Morris. These are Mike Shanahan guys. Our tight end that year, I forget his name. I was just looking at it. He's not a big name guy either, and guess what? But he was a hard-nosed, run-blocking tight end first that could catch the football. Now we're dancing around with all these Jordan Reeds of the world. Even though I love Vernon Davis isn't a run-blocking tight end. And when you don't have a top quarterback in the NFL, like we don't have a top quarterback. When you don't have a top quarterback, you have to run the football. And these are the types of things that Mike Shanahan knew. Those guys were conditioned. Like the interview the other day we were listening to with Lombardi talking about this football team. Jay Gruden is 1-4 in football games that the temperature was like over 81 degrees or something like that. Conditioning. Like some people might laugh at that stat. That's a real stat. That's conditioning. We don't have our guys whipped into shape. Mike Shanahan was a hard-nosed type of guy. If you pissed him off, you would hear about it. If you did a penalty, you would hear about it. And I'm just kind of over this nice guy Jay Gruden stuff, man. The next coach that we get, I want to be the complete polar opposite. I want him to lay into people's asses. I want people to be disciplined, and I'm ready to move on. Jay Gruden has to go. This is just another. I understand. I didn't mention Bruce Allen like this whole time, but you already know Bruce Allen has to go. But yeah, that's just my thought for today, man. Just had a random thought. I was just thinking about the 2015 Redskins football team, and I'm like, that team is the, it would beat the team today. That team would beat the team today. Trent Murphy would get more pressure on the quarterback than anyone we have on the football team right now. Um, and it's just sad, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. When you go back and look at Jay Gruden's work, what has he done to mold the football team? I give the guy credit. I've given the guy credit for keeping us stable. You know what I mean? We're not an up and down, completely up and down football team every year. He keeps us stable, but it's not good enough. And the injuries, there has to be something there. Like I said, the way that the team is being handled, being an offensive-minded coach, starting slow every year, it's just not good enough, and we have to put our foot down, and we have to be ready to move on. And it sucks. Pains me to say that. Pains me to say that. I don't want to be like the Browns. I don't want to be switching people in and out, but we gave Jay Gruden his time, and we have to move on. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about what I said about the 2015 Redskins football team being better than any of the teams that we've had since then. And do you think, like I think, that most of that team was inherited by Mike Shanahan and coached by Mike Shanahan and instilled discipline by Mike Shanahan? And Jay Gruden had his touch. He had Kirk Cousins start, but so did Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan had he had times where he had Colt McCoy and all these guys, start. So let me know what you guys think. Hell to Redskins. Peace.